scientists undertook. And I want to see kind of what you guys think.
When is single and men stop trying. This is the mouse paradise, a scientific experiment from the 1960s. They made the perfect world for mice with unlimited food, safety, and no predators. In the beginning, they placed 4 females and 4 males and let them multiply. The population exploded, hundreds, then thousands. Then something strange happened. They stopped mating, and within 4 years, they were extinct. But why? According to scientists, the reason was social interaction overload. Just like humans on social media today. They were in 24/7 interaction with thousands of others. Too much stimulation, too much competition for social status, and this led them to lose the ability to form bonds, to mate and raise their young. Many males became so-called the beautiful ones. They lost interest in females. They just groomed themselves all day and withdrew completely because they could not compete in this chaos anymore. And the females followed by losing interest in males. So no mating, and they all just died without having babies. Since 2010 smartphones, humans are living the same social interaction overload. 24/7 status competition, income and lifestyle comparison with thousands of others, physical looks to impossible standards. And many young people just choose to withdraw. For the first time in history, young people are having less sex than their parents. 30% of men under 30 had no sex for a year. Loneliness epidemic hits us harder than any virus could. You know, the mice couldn't turn this off, but you can.
Yeah, so what y'all think?
I think he on to something. I actually, hold on a second. I actually looked into that study a few years ago,
Okay.
probably like a decade ago. And it wasn't just what they call like the beautiful ones, like the male mice that were
Right.
grooming themselves.
Yeah, it was the
It
females
was
too.
yeah, it was also like gangster mice that were hoarding all the resources
Okay.
that you could also liken to like billionaires that are that are like hoarding everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was another group of mice that he didn't really mention. But yeah, it's practically identical when you look at it, and truthfully, it seems like it's only going to get worse.
Right.
Um,
Right. Because
like with social media really, I don't know. It seemed like the manosphere um, started telling dudes to be the best that they can be, and it kind of went from just like being healthy and having a good mindset to just becoming like complete monks,
right.
you know, and being in the gym. Just I don't see what the overall purpose of becoming a monk. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't want to say too much on that because I'm not too keen on it. I see what the manosphere when the manosphere started, it was one thing, but it kind of like spiraled into something else. A lot of people say the red pill thing have a lot to do with it,
Right.
and guys just don't want to be bothered with women anymore because like women are hard to deal with or whatever. And he was saying something about young guys not having sex for
For a year.
over a year or something like that. I mean, yeah, I could see that experiment taking place in like our culture.
Right.
Yeah.
Because the one thing I noticed is the more access you have to something, like say if yeah, especially when it comes to just like I love women, you know what I mean? So when it comes to
Hmm.
women, if you got access to women all the time, it gets to a point that a new woman walking in is not going to turn your head as the same. You know what I mean? It's not going to get you full speed ahead. Let me go chase after her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, say if it's only one out of 20 people, and it's only like 3 females there. You know what I mean? That means
Yeah.
those three are going to be highly sought after. But say if it's 20 and you got like 15 females there, it's 5. All 15 are going to be highly sought after. So it's the same thing, and then after a while, it turns into this situation where when The crazy thing is when they don't even mix together anymore. Nobody's even getting together. And I think the big thing is we got such a barrier to entry. You gotta go through social media in order to talk to people these days. You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's insane.
Like in the current generation, in a way, you can hear many of them. I hear many of them say it's strange for somebody to come up to them in person and talk. You know what I mean? That's like weird to them. You supposed to meet another way. That's odd. I don't even understand how that could be. But coming up in a world, if you come up in a world where the screen was what you knew when you were born, I guess this is the way that's normal. You know?
Yeah. I was after I left the show last night, I had to go take Chuck his thumb drive because he had left it at the studio.
Right.
And as I was driving through downtown, it was like a ghost town down there. It was a ghost town on a Friday night.
That's crazy.
It was nobody outside.
That's unheard of. Say about a
I'm
good
like,
10,
yo, where
15
is
years ago.
everybody?
Yeah, that is crazy.
That is.
That's wild.
I drove past the power plant.
Mm.
It was nobody out there.
Mm.
I know it's winter, but I always remember all through the year it would just be people down there, like at the power plant, sound stage, that area down there. It will always be people out around there. I went through there last night and it was nothing.
Wow.
Nothing.
You usually see a line. There used to be a line outside too.
Yeah, big crowds.
Yep. That's crazy. That's crazy. But that's wild. That's what it is. I don't know. I guess the thing to do is we gotta get unattached. We all addicted to the screens, you know.
Absolutely.
I think COVID. I think that people definitely are addicted to the screens, but I feel like COVID did a serious number on person-to-person interaction. You feel me? Like in-person interaction. Like I feel like I come from an era, like you feel me? Like I was very fortunate to have been outside before COVID, you know what I mean? But for those who like I
Yep.
don't know about y'all, but like that 2 years was crazy, bro. Like it changed family dynamics, shit like that, but we still knew what it was like to be outside. You know what I mean? A lot of these people don't really know how to meet people if it's not for an app or if it's not like they more accustomed to jumping in somebody's DM than going up to them in person and saying something and don't know what to say in person. You feel me? Like it's just really
Yeah.
weird. And then in this era, a lot of people in my generation, especially like the guys, you feel me, they more so trying to lock in with themselves, you feel me? And you know, because there's a lot of like social media, just online conversations about like the table, right? Like, what do you bring to the table? Do you have a table for somebody to bring something to? Things of that nature, you feel me? So it's like a lot of people feel like they would rather just focus on themselves, you feel me? Then you got the quote unquote passport bros, which, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's just mad different out there, you know? Like they'll talk to somebody, but they want somebody that's not American mentally. You know what I mean? So it's just going on.
And the crazy thing about it is the comparison game of it too, because of social media makes everyone look like they up right now. You know what I mean? And the level of up
Mm-hmm.
is such a mirage in ways. You know what I mean? If you got a good looking camera, if you got the right type of lighting, you know what I mean, that could give the impression of, you know what I mean, you got of wealth, luxury, you know what I mean? You can give off the impression that this, that, and the third going on. Remember all the models that was on in Dubai that was bragging about their trips to Dubai, and then we found out later on what they were doing to get those trips. So,
Yeah.
so it's just one of these things right now. Where we are in this current game right now, you know, it's so much illusion. There's a lot of illusion, you know. So people got to, I don't know, go back outside. Like my daughters always say, go touch grass. You know what I mean? Just do something. Just you'd be surprised.
Yeah, it's better. It's better going outside.
Right.
I mean, maybe the us. Maybe for the younger generation, outside might be scary or boring, you know. But yeah, that's true. Cause before, man, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Right before COVID hit, it seemed like Baltimore was going through this crazy renaissance. Man,
True.
on a
Facts.
Friday night, you could hit like 3 or 4 different spots, and all of them was jumping.
Mm.
And this was like in 19, like right before it. I'm like,
Man,
2019. Okay.
I
Mm.
remember
yeah,
them days, yo, and niggas that hit one open mic, they go to the other open mic, you feel me? Like I remember them. I remember them days where it'd be like, oh, you might have 2 shows in one day in the same city, you feel
yep,
me? Like
yep,
it was
yep.
different. And we lost a
It
lot of
was.
venues too. Like it's really a shame what happened. You feel me? What is that across the street from the McDonald's? What is that? North Avenue where the Crown is at?
Oh,
Or was
That's
at?
where
You know what I
everything.
mean?
That's
Like
where
that
everything was happening. It was the
oh,
wind up space,
okay.
gone. The
the
Wanda space is
crown.
gone. That Why Not Lot is
Yep,
gone. The Crown is gone. Like that is crazy, yo. I miss the Crown so much, bro.
me too, man. That was a moment. That I say between um 2015 and 2019, we were on fire, yo. That was a moment.
Yeah, because like you could see, like the city had kind of, it was like a lot of energy had really galvanized after the whole Freddie Gray incident, and then everything
Yeah,
like that. Then you could see especially when the art too, and in the art forms, you start to see that start to pop off. I remember seeing a lot of those vintage venues and everything like that start to pop up. And then
yep,
2020, it was weird because, more than that stopped. Now like back before 2020. When anybody would see each other, the first thing we would all do is give a pound. You know what I mean? After that,
yep,
that's dead for the most part. A lot of that died right then because we said, no, you can't have hand-to-hand contact. Standing in line now, you notice that people don't even stand as close as we used to. Still.
mm-hmm,
So there's a lot of them things. I remember one time, like being in the store, just walking through Walmart or something like that. And this is like back, everybody had to be masked up at all times. Little kids are scared of me walking through. And that's like the first time that's normally happening, you know what I mean? Because everybody got masks on and hoods and everything like that. So that had to be, I think that is probably something that also playing into the minds of a lot of the kids that were kids at that time and now coming of age.
yeah,
That probably is also playing a lot of psychological tricks too.
yep. It's hard to believe that was 6 years ago.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. 6 years.
And
And they still changing. Still changing as we go.
Mm-hmm.
Still changing as we go. Let me see, what's the last thing we got on here? We have, speaking of changing as we go, I think this is, where we at? Hold on, let me stop the share. So I can get my screen. Oh, here we go. Supposedly we got an apology from Ja Rule to 50 and the whole G Unit family pinned by an assistant. Did y'all get a chance to check this out? All
Yeah, I checked it out.
right,
I
so
was
yeah, I
I
read
was
it.
actually kind of I was actually kind of glad that he apologized. It showed maturity,
hmm
a well needed maturity, because they starting to look crazy out here. You got these men in their 50s and they still acting like kids. Now I don't really know what happened between 50 and Ja Rule, probably some crazy street stuff. I mean, I've heard stories, but you never really know about something unless you're in it.
right,
Then he got a beef with not only 50 but his homeboys too. And it's just ridiculous that you can't go nowhere without seeing your ops at the age of 50 years old. And Ja Rule finally just saying, look, we getting too old for this. I commend that. I stand by that. You know what I mean? 50, he just seems like he likes beef and he reveled in taking his enemies down. Like he getting empowered by he seemed like the type that's empowered by it. you can tell he read that book, The 48 Laws of Power. You know, it's one of those laws that say completely annihilate your enemies. I forget which law it is, but he seemed like he lived by
You
that.
know, he got his own version of that book, right?
Huh?
Yo, Jam, you know he got his own version of that book, right? He got his own version of that book.
Oh, what's it called?
I think it's called the 50 Laws of Power. He got his own version
50 Laws of Power.
Of that book. Yo. I think it's called the 50 Laws. Yeah, yeah. Hold on, I'm a fact check that. I know I seen that. Hey yo,
50 don't play.
That's crazy.
You can tell by the way he gets his research and everything. He'll get the dirt on you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it just seemed like after so much time, it's okay to take your foot off the gas. Right. You know, you won, yo. You know what I mean? What more do you want? What do you want them to do? You want them to cry? You know, you want your enemies bowing down on their knees.
He want them niggas off the board, yo. The point of Monopoly is not to own everything. You feel me?
Right.
The point of Monopoly is to bankrupt your opponent, and that's what 50 is on. And it's not called the 50 Laws of Power. It's called the 50th Law, but it's basically based on the 48 Laws of Power. But yeah,
okay.
Bro.
The 50th Law.
50 wild as hell, bro. 50. Yeah, 50 wild as hell, bro. He the pettiest man alive, yo. I appreciate the consistency, but I do agree. I do agree that they getting too old for this. You know what I mean?
Too old.
50 gonna drag on Earth for as long as 50 alive, he gonna drag on Earth, yo. If you know, you know. You feel me? And you know, 50 outlived Earth, but he gonna always have something to say about Earth, yo. You know what I mean? But with that being said, yo, I think that is mad petty what's going on. Like, they too old to be getting into fights on airplanes and niggas just throwing pillows at each other. Like, it's just gone too far, yo. I hope that eventually the beef can be over, but 50, you cross 50 once, isn't it up, yo? You know what I mean? Like, you see the lengths 50 went through to make this Diddy documentary?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like 50 just holds a grudge. Did y'all see that 50 just did like a commercial? He just did a commercial and he found a way to throw shots at Diddy in the commercial.
No, I ain't see that.
Stop.
Yo, I'm gonna send it to y'all, yo. He was like, oh, it's just a coincidence that this costs whatever, and the amount of whatever it costs is the amount of years Diddy caught it. Like, it's just crazy, yo. 50 Cent just has no chill, bro. You know what I mean? Like, he's a very petty
Did y'all
individual,
see that?
Yo.
Did y'all see that he bought he's partial owner of the building that that Jim Jones and them was doing their podcast out of, right. And Jim Jones and them wind up getting evicted.
Yeah,
Beefing 50.
Right.
Beefing 50.
Exactly.
You seen? Yes, it was either yesterday or the day before yesterday. 50 uploaded a video of Jim trying to kick the kick in the doors and wherever they rent. You feel me? He was trying to right. And 50 said he gonna have to pay for it by Monday.
Right. That's crazy. And it's wild.
No, 50 is wild.
It's not funny, but it's funny. Because it's not funny, but it's funny because it's like TV.
Right.
But it's real.
It's real. But see, you know, the crazy thing about it is, like, say you can see these things play out in real life, but then but we watching it too, though. It's one thing, like, you know, back and forth, me and him, you know what I mean, back and forth, and then that's cool. But that's only a small audience. But now this for the whole world to see. And that's what magnifies this thing, you know what I mean? Everything get magnified at this point. Because I remember they went back before, it was about a week or two ago, and Jim Jones like, nah, I got money. Like, all right, you know. And then 50 was saying what he was saying, and now for them to get put out, it just keeps going.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got the time to do this and still be going back and forth.
He making all of them look crazy.
Right.
Hey, look, and isn't it 4 rappers that own this podcast, right?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it Jim Jones,
Davies,
Mano, Fabulous, and somebody else. I can't remember who the 4th guy is. Who is it?
I think
Jim Jones.
it's Davies, Fabulous, Mano, and Jim Jones, right?
Yeah.
Did y'all see the post that's going viral on? It's going viral on X. Somebody said Griselda brought New York back just for New York.
You said what? Say it
It's a
again.
post that's going viral on X. Somebody said Griselda. It's a post that's going viral online. Somebody said Griselda brought New York back just for New York to become
Damn. It always stops just when you say just for New York to become
New York to become what?
podcasters.
Oh,
podcast. Oh yeah, I did see that.
Podcasters.
I did see that. To become podcasters. That's wild. But I don't know. I just
man,
think
I don't think New York. I don't think New York really cared about hip hop like that. Like they haven't really cared about it since the early 2000s. Truthfully,
has
they haven't really cared about it.
because haven't a lot of them switched to the drill scene too.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
Then I guess
they.
it's one of the things. It'll probably be a resurgence. We'll have to see a resurgence of sorts. Because I'm seeing a lot of people talking crazy on there about New York too. Like people, what was it? Forget somebody from, what was it? Charleston White. He got on there talking about, ain't nobody trying to listen to no New York rap down south and all of this that they saying. Did you see that? But
They always talking crazy about New York in the South.
mm,
I mean, I can't really blame them though. After the Source Awards, the way they did Outkast, I mean, hey,
right. Outkast, one of the best of all time.
right.
So yes,
I
indeed.
remember I was living in Jersey City, right across from Manhattan,
Okay.
when Bombs Over Baghdad dropped. Um, right before Stankonia came out.
Okay.
When Bombs Over Baghdad hit, right, I was listening to Hot 97. Angie Martinez was a star. Might have been Star. I can't remember. But man, they played it, and Angie Martinez was like, "I don't know about this one, y'all." Like they was hating on them so hard. When I heard Bombs Over Baghdad, I went crazy because it was Southern hip hop, right? They had their own way of doing things.
Right.
But they was hating on that song so hard. Even still,
Yeah.
in 1999, 1999
Yep.
or
Yep.
2000,
That's
whenever that
crazy.
album came out.
I think that was about like that was. I think there had to be at least 2000 at that point.
Yeah.
That's crazy
How
though.
how do y'all feel about this, right? Because I was watching this video and it was like a bunch of New York rappers in a barbershop and they was arguing about who was better in the 90s, right? Between Prodigy from Beat and Three Stacks from Outkast, right? And they was saying that the infamous like the they were comparing first albums, but it's like you can't really compare first albums because Mobb Deep was they was children on their first album. You feel me? Like the Infamous is not the first album. That's the first album that everybody heard. But
Oh,
their first album was Juvenile Hell. You feel me? And you can't compare Juvenile Hell to Southern Playalistic. You feel me? So they were comparing um the Infamous. You feel me? And they were saying that
Mm.
Prodigy was better than Three Stacks. I feel like the Infamous is better than Southern Playalistic, but to say that Prodigy overall was better than Andre, I think that there has to be more conversation to that because yeah, like Mobb Deep went on a crazy run in the 90s, but you feel me? Like ATLiens was hard too. You feel me? ATLiens was hard. You feel me? What's the other
Hmm.
joint? The Clemini, like you know.
yeah.
So like it's not just that easy. Like they said basically like all time that Three X would be above Prodigy, but Prodigy was better in the 90s. I don't know about that.
Yeah, me either. That's a crazy comparison too.
Very. Well, I guess with it being two duos, you know, comparing two duos, I did prefer what was it? Southern Playalistic though. I did, but that was the sound of it. That was like a whole different, the way that whole album was put together. I love the way that album was put together. And same with Infamous. That was a classic. Both of those are classics. Like, you can listen to both of those still to this day, and they still sound
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
They age very well. But man, that's two iconic groups right there.
yeah. I think hip hop has this. It has a hard fixation on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And when you are a street rapper, you automatically get a pass, as opposed to if you're like, if your style is more suburban, introspective, honest, poetic, you know, it has to be street. Cause I was thinking about the album from Souls of Mischief, 93 Till Infinity, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That album is, they are lyrically incredible on that album, and they influenced a lot of the greats on that one particular album. And that album came out probably, it came out a little bit before Illmatic, right? And Souls of Mischief, they were lyrically, they had the what's the word I'm looking for? They had the complexities, and you know, but they weren't street, so they didn't, and plus they were from the West Coast, so they didn't really get the same kind of respect that Nas got. Like, while they were technical and all of that good stuff, and they had the metaphors and everything, they didn't have the street element.
Right.
Because Nas was technical and all of his stuff, and he was poetic, but he was also street. And with him having that street edge, it's like the heavens pretty much opened up when he came out. But a person like me listening to Illmatic, like from when it came out, and listening to 93 Till Infinity when it came out, I thought both of those albums were even. You know, I thought they were even. I mean, I will give it to Nas. Nas is better than them. But speaking from like
Nas
a
got the
technical,
first ever. I don't mean to cut your wisdom, yo, because I definitely want to hear that. You feel me? Because I had to play catch up. You feel me? When I was coming up, I came up during the Dipset era and shit like that. You feel me? But I grew up listening to older music because, you feel me, I'm like the oldest of my generation of my family. You feel me? So I'm getting raised by adults and shit like that. So I'm hearing, you feel me? Like I heard Public Enemy, Doom early. I heard Casual. You feel me? Like me and Prince Mac argue all the time about Souls of Mischief, right? Because I give
yeah,
them a lot of flack about that one line, like, oh, like, you know, I'm gonna grab the 40 out the cooler, get the ruler. I've never in my life measured a 40. You feel me? So it's like, and I don't recommend drinking 40s, bro. But my point, my point being is like, it's just what are you talking about? I felt like they had a classic beat, but they wasn't saying nothing on that beat. You feel me? I do like a couple songs off that album, but I'm gonna re-listen to it again with how you described it. You feel me? Because Illmatic is one of my favorite albums, and Illmatic is like the first ever super producer album in hip hop. You feel me? So if you give it
yeah,
that much praise, I'm gonna re-listen to it. But me and Chris Mack
yeah. The
argue all
thing
the
is,
time
right?
about
This
Souls of
is
Mischief.
this is what it is. For people around, MCs around my age, like Eminem, Andre 3000, they always give the album 93 Till Infinity a lot of credit, because what they did stylistically at the time was, it was unheard of, and they moved the culture forward with it, and it came out before Illmatic did, you know. So yeah, that's an album that's really overlooked.
Did that
Um,
album come out before Dell's No Need for Alarm? Because No Need for Alarm is my
yeah,
favorite
it,
Dell joint.
it came out before No Need for Alarm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did that come out before Fear Itself?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was it was 93 Till Infinity, then No Need for Alarm, and then Fear Itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like
And
those
all those albums came out between like 93, like between 93 and 94.
It's
Like
like
months
those
apart.
years. 92, no, those years, 91, 92, 93, 94. Those years are like those pivotal years when it comes to hip hop. You know what I mean? Like those years, like a lot of the blueprints got laid out, and we didn't even know it at that time. We just didn't, but we knew we knew that we was like witnessing greatness, but we didn't know it would be like those type of jewels that were
Because
like.
y'all get the 36 chambers in 93, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
You would get that. What about the Black Moon to enter the stage?
Like 90,
That was
93.
that was early 93.
Yep.
Okay. And I think Daily Operation is 92, right?
I think
By
that's
Gang Starr?
91.
That's
91.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Right. We had
A lot of classics came out in 91, by the way. It's like that's probably my all-time favorite year.
What year
For
does
hip
the
hop.
Breaking Atoms come out? The main source joint.
I want to say either 90 or 91.
main source.
So people been
Yeah,
knew
look
who
it up.
Nas was.
Yeah,
So
that's
so
91.
niggas been knew who Nas was since the Live at the Barbecue. That's like 91.
Yeah.
I think
That's
so.
91. Yep.
91.
It was 91.
91 is one of the greatest years in hip hop, boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
Word.
the classics came out that year.
Yep. Yep. It's one of those things. But and you know it's crazy because so many styles. A lot of people was changing. A lot of styles was being innovated. You know what I mean? A lot of different groups that we don't even think about, like Far Side and all of them, and a bunch of them. And people was integrating so many different things, bringing their different concepts, even from going back to simple. You know what I mean? Just bringing the different complexities to different things. That I think that if they were to come out now, they'd really blow up. You know what I mean? Like so many people ahead of their time. We're ahead of their time.
Facts.
Yep.
That's indeed. But yeah, man, but I don't know what to tell you the rest of y'all. But what else y'all got for the rest of the day?
I don't know, man. I'm chilling. I'm probably gonna do some writing because I haven't written anything in a minute.
That was
Yeah.
you're working on a new album.
No, I just write. Like I treat it like a journal.
Gotcha.
Like whatever I'm going through for like the past 2 weeks, I write a rhyme about it.
Gotcha.
Yo, I got a question for you, Jan. Yo. So once again, thank you for performing at my event, man. You did your big
Yeah.
one. You feel me? You definitely did that. I appreciate you coming through and performing. Yo, what
Appreciate it, man. It's a good time.
already? Yo, so what do you think I could do in order to make the event more enjoyable for people?
Make it more enjoyable.
And I'm not, and I don't. You feel me? It's always gonna be some rugged underground type. You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm not ready to turn this bitch into Six Flags, but what I mean is like what do you think we could do better as far as putting that event together? You feel me? If that makes any sense.
If you could find some female artists, a little bit more female artists,
Yeah.
probably bring some of them in. Because I was looking at the artists and it was a good balance. Like you had a guy performing with a guitar, and you had Barry doing his stuff. So that was kind of like a good change of pace. So yeah, that's the only other thing I would have suggested. Like if you bring in like some more alternative type of hip hop, But you did that already. So yeah, maybe some female. I know like it's kind of hard to find like some really like hardcore female acts, but they out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess just knowing the venue and everything too.
hmm
It's coming up.
And it's hard to find people who want to perform too. I know that's a challenge.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people want to perform, but I feel like certain artists don't want to promote. Like you feel me? Like it's just, and I never really understood that. Like I get it too. Like it's not your job to be a promoter. You feel me? But why would you not want to tell people to come see you? You feel me? Like you don't want to perform and nobody be there in front of you. You feel me? Like regardless of how many people in the crowd, you're still supposed to put your best foot forward. You feel me? But I feel like if you're
Right.
on the bill, you should want people to come out to see you rap. You feel me?
True.
Yeah.
But when like, oh my bad, what was you ready to say? Go?
I think a lot of people forgetting the part that this is a part of show business when it comes to that. You know what I mean? So show business, you gotta go put on a show. You know what I mean? The actor got to do the same thing if they on the stage. You know what I mean? So you want people to come out to your show, your perform. That's why they would do the interviews. So it's the same thing with the artists. You know what I mean? Artists. A lot of time we get stuck in the artist thing, like, oh, you know, I write my songs, I did my album, listen to it, and I'll go back home and chill. But no, you got to go out there. You know what I mean? You got to be in front of
Right,
it.
you gotta go perform, yo, because how are you gonna move that album? How people gonna know? Like, you feel me? Like, especially if you're not running ads or whatever, like, how are people gonna find out that you dropped the album? You gotta go in front of people. Like, that's one of my favorite things. Like, it's aside from performing, like, one of the best things about, like, to me, when we in the studio, that's work, that's business. You feel me? Like, it's business when we hit the stage too. But I feel like that's the most fun part is performing. You feel me? But the way that we perform is like, I wouldn't call it a challenge, but like it's just different because I'm in an era where I go to a lot of shows and I might be the only act that's not, or not the only act, but one of the few acts that's not rhyming over the vocals. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that works in my favor because like it just I feel like that kind of looked crazy, yo. If niggas wanted to listen to your song, they would have just streamed it. They wanted to see you perform it. They don't want to just sit there and you are rapping along to your vocals or you rapping the ad libs. Like, but some people that's their style, yo. That's just not what I do. You feel me? But I feel like that works in my favor because not a lot of people are used to seeing that. They used like people that come from the era that inspires me the most. You feel me? They used to seeing rappers rhyme just over instrumentals, but now it's like a rarity, basically.
Right, right.
That is crazy.
Yeah,
How
that
did
is.
how did it come to this?
Because
How did it come to
I
this?
know how it came to it. It's simple because they're like training wheels. You know what I mean? You know, like the training wheels on a bike.
Uh-huh.
The vocals on the record. They help you remember your lines. You know what I mean? So I see many times people performing to it, and they forgetting their lines, and they say, "Oh, there it go, right there." So they just catch it right there, just keep on going with them.
That's why you supposed to practice. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? Supposed to practice. I don't
No, the
know.
AI, yo, supposed to be the star player, and we talking about practice.
Right. That's the game of it now. That's the game of it. So all right. So where can they catch you at, Jam?
um Jammer One JAMMAWUN on YouTube.
All right. What about you, Skills Mega?
D Skills Harris on IG.
All right. Well, you can catch me on at thegovernorsmansion.net. Also, the Guess I'll Say It podcast, streaming on all the YouTube, catch us on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, wherever you can find it. Just check it out. And you know, signing off. I'm your host, Sick of the Governor. We got Skills Mega, Jammer One. You know what I mean? Next week, hopefully we can get Adam Mail back in the game. We'll see what we got going on. But all right, y'all, it was a good episode. Like,
For sure.
indeed. All right.
Peace.
All right, check y'all out later.
Peace. All right.
All right, peace.